Hello and welcome back to the Impression Wiz channel. I'm your host, the Impression Wiz, and welcome back to Dream Daddy. Been a little bit since I think I've recorded. The last time I remember, though, we did Brian's first situation. And now we're gonna do one of my favorite ones. Unless you want me to do the random... Actually, first off, we should probably do that. There we go. Okay. This will be good. Mike, listen. This is you from the past. Whoa! How'd this happen? I figured you're trying to reply to this, because I know myself. But this is an automated message from you earlier this morning, when it was socially unacceptable to go out and buy ice cream. I forgot I did that. I forgot how I did that as well. The future is amazing! Listen, life is short, and ice cream should always be acceptable, but unfortunately, it isn't the society we live in. And it's less the society we live in and more me projecting my own anxiety about being judged on others, but you know what I mean. By the time you're reading this, it is a certain time of day in which nobody will bat an eye at you for going out and buying ice cream. You know what to do. Goodbye, me. Buy that ice cream. Okay, I love that one. That's good. Okay. That's off to a good start. You know what? I've earned a treat. On the way home, I decided to stop off and grab some ice cream, which I fully plan to eat directly from the tub. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out just which type of ice cream I'd like to eat directly from the tub. Rocky Road? Pistachio? Oh, Amanda's probably going to want some too. Better get 2 tubs. She loves cookie dough ice cream, right? Hey, mister! I turn around to see Ernest. I don't remember the voice I gave Ernest. Leaning up against the wall of the convenience store. Ernest? You're cool, right? I'm so cool. I'm shocked you even have to ask, Dude Meister. Oh my god, I asked the wrong person. Could you just help me out? Maybe. Help you out? There's no fire involved, is there? Just clouds. So if I give you $20, will you buy me e-liquid? Ernest? What's e-liquid? It's like, Gatorade, you know? Electrolyte liquid. I'd get it myself, but I'm banned from here for trying to run a grift on the cashier. A classic fiddle game, you know the deal. Oh, if you're talking about balanced electrolytes, then I got you, little buddy. And I don't know what you've played, and I didn't know you played the fiddle. Okay. Just ask the clerk for blue Cranapple's Zortex. He'll know what it is. I pick up a tub of pistachio ice cream for myself and a tub of cookie dough for Romana. I search around for some blue Craisin solid starter, but can't seem to find any. I turn to the cashier. Say, where's your finest e-liquid? Behind the counter. You got an ID? First of all, my daughter is older than you. Second of all, I'm flattered. I switched shampoos recently. Is that taking some years off? Look, you need to be 21 to buy vape juice. Your hair doesn't look a day over 20. Wait a minute. Are you just trying to butter me up to get me to buy some more ice cream? Because it's working. I glance outside and spot Ernest staring at me. Double wait a minute. So you're telling me that e-liquid is not a sports drink? It's for vaping. Ernest is watching us intently through the window. I better go give that kid a piece of my mind. I see. Okay, look. I'm going to pretend that you didn't try to trick me into buying you the old Bahamut cough syrup, and then go inside here to purchase my ice cream. I won't tell your dad if you promise to scram. And stop vaping. You'll get popcorn lung. What if I give you $25? Go home, Ernest. As I'm walking back inside, Ernest calls after me. You can get popcorn lung from microwave popcorn, you know. I no longer trust this child, but the more notion strikes fear into my heart. I go back inside and complete my purchase with the good cashier. Thank you, kind sir, for your time and generous hair compliments. You got it, bub. I glance out the window to see Ernest still outside. Looks like he's talking to some other poor sap. Guess I should go outside and save this other guy some grief. Wait a second. That's definitely a cop. Oh boy. I grab my tubs of ice cream and bolt outside. Ernest is already face down on the hood of a squad car. Ernest, did you seriously just try to get a cop to buy you e-liquid? Do you know this kid? I'm friends with his dad. My daughter goes to his school. Never met him in my life. Excuse me. I'm friends with his dad. Yeah, we live in the same cul-de-sac. I know his dad. Listen, he's a good kid and... I'm this boy's father. I turn around to see... Oh, nah, I thought I was gonna... Never mind. I turn around and see Robert walking up the street and towards the convenience store. Ernest, what are you doing? I was hoping I wasn't going to end up doing this voice. I want a lawyer. First of all, good first instinct. Remember that you're not required to answer any questions from a police officer without a lawyer present. You're this boy's father? Yes, sir. Ernest likes to lash out at me like this ever since the accident. Oh, I don't like talking about it. That's fine. Robert gives a wistful twinkle in his eye. It all started 7 summers ago. My hair was long then. New metal was still in style. Ernest and I were down in Florida swamplands, scavenging for... Sir, I can leave you to take it from here. Sounds good. Thanks, officer. Ernest, come along now. You'll be cleaning grout from the rain gutters for a week thanks to this transgression. The police officer gets in his car and drives off. I'm stunned by how cool Robert was just there. Thanks. I just want to say, Richard? Ouch. Don't mention it, Hemingway. Got in trouble plenty times in my life. Just trying to do my good deed for the day. Will you buy me e-liquid if I give you $20? Child, I will end you. Hey, Mike, will you walk Ernest home with me? Sure. Ernest runs ahead, presumably so he won't be seen with us, which is a thing I think kids do. He reminds me a lot of myself when I was his age. Well, maybe I wasn't as dumb. Seems like he tortures his dad. Seems like he tortures just about everybody. He even stole your wallet. What? No, he did. I pat my back pocket. I pat the rest of my pockets. He stole my wallet. Why are you doing this to yourself? What? Oh. Robert points to my tubs of ice cream. One of them is for Amanda. Hey. I have no qualms with the quantity of ice cream you've purchased. It's perfectly respectable amount of ice cream. It's the quality I'm talking about. You work hard, Mike. You're a good dad. Don't you think you deserve top shelf ice cream? But these were on sale. I like that little... Okay. If you're gonna treat yourself, go big or go home. Real vanilla bean, real pistachio. You deserve it. We arrive at the cul-de-sac and Ernest runs into his home. That boy is the reason why we don't have prizes in cereal anymore. Hey. Catch you around, Mike. Robert tosses me my wallet. I catch it in a surprised look on my face. I stole it back. Keep it in your front pocket or use a chain, like back in your ska days. Smell you later. See you, Robert. I go back inside my home, ready to spend the rest of the night with 2 tubs of ice cream and also Amanda.
You've got dads.
Well, that was a neat little interaction. So I've done both Matt and Brian for the first dates. I think I'm actually going to do Damien's next. 'Cause why not? I like Damien. Here we go. I might have to save in the middle of his because he sometimes is long-winded, but here we go. How do you do? I have finally decided to join this information superhighway. I'm not entirely sure how this works, but I will try my best to understand. I love long strolls through graveyards and spending time with my son. If you would ever like to chat about the latest in Victorian fashion, the inevitability of our own demise, or black cats, please send me a letter. On Friday nights, you are most likely to listen to true crime podcasts while I taxidermize my newest specimen. If you had one thing to take with you on a deserted island, what would it be? A coffin. What are your turn-ons? Pronouncing bosom correctly. I don't know if I did pronounce it correctly, but you know what? That's okay. What did you want to be when you grew up? A bat. Okay. What's your favorite movie genre? Foreign art house horror. What's your ideal date? It's night. We're at an industrial dark wave club in Berlin. The music drums to the beat of our own hearts. Okay, I added a little bit more on that one, but fitting. What do you never leave home without? An upside-down cross. That might be kind of interesting. The other guy, Joseph. I spend a lot of time thinking about mortality salescence. I have no idea, and I'm pretty sure I messed that up, but we're going to just keep on moving. Here we go. Drink too much water and keep your word. That's actually a pretty good one. Damien seems really interesting. A little odd, but interesting. I think I should hang out with him and get to know him a little better. I navigate to Damien's dadbook page and type out a message. Hey dude, you seem cool. We should hang out sometime. I sit there for a minute before I see that Damien's typing. But then he keeps typing. Oh boy. And typing. Man, is this guy writing a novel? I leave the computer to make some coffee. And he's still typing. I sip my coffee and the computer finally dings. Mike, I must confess to... I'm not gonna go ahead yet. Mike, I must confess my excitement to receive your kind letter, for, as you see, I do find myself available to enjoy your company. I must ask for your forgiveness, however, as I believe our first meeting did not paint me in as gentlemanly manner as I would have liked. Oh, whoa, there's more. I would be highly flattered to enjoy your companionship at my residence for an afternoon tea and a stroll around my garden, should it please you. Till then, adieu. Yours humbled, D. Bloodwatch. I stare at the screen and reread the letter several more times. Hey, Amanda! Can you help me with something? Dad, for the last time, I'm not popping your back pimples. Oh, come on. No. Can you interpret this for me? I turn the computer to Amanda and she squints at Damien's message. I just don't understand NetSpeak. Like, is this how you kids communicate with each other now? Yeah. Oh, totally. This is the hot new thing. See, Dad, kids got over saying lol and LMA or Lamau or however you want to pronounce that. I'm pronouncing it dad-wise, just saying. Or whatever, and decided that we needed to do what was bring it back to the 1800s. So what do I do? Where's your pen and quill? What? Did you forget to unpack the pen and quill? Dad, how will we address the nobleman in regards to your upcoming debutante ball? Okay, now I know you're messing with me. Father, without a proper chaperone, you'll never end up with a suitor worthy of our land. I'm turning in papyrus in that. Or our dowry. Or... So you read Pride and Prejudice for school one time, and now you're reciting things you know about it back to me, aren't you? Like, the first 5 pages, then I read a review of the movie. Still gotta be, though. Great, so what do I do? What do I say to Damien? Yeah. I got this. Amanda reaches over me and types on the keyboard. Sure thing, dude. Regards, Mike. Amanda hits send and smiles at me. Well, I suppose that's that. I make the short walk over to Damien's house. Well, I guess you can't really call it a house. It's more of a manor. Estate? The Gothic architecture looms above the other homes in the cul-de-sac. I walk past a couple of gargoyles guarding the front door and look around for the doorbell. There doesn't seem to be one. I put a large ornamental carved bat head door knocker. Or I pull the large... knocker back, and a hollow sound echoes through the house as I strike it against the door. I wait several moments before the door slowly creaks open. It's a little creepy, but I enter the home and take a few steps into the foyer, noting the oil portraits of who I assume are dead relatives hanging on the wall. As I'm admiring them, the front door slams shut behind me. Hello? Silence. An oil lamp in the corner flickers dimly, casting ominous shadows against the wall. Why do I feel like all the people in these paintings are staring at me? Why is it so cold in here? Where's Damien? Mike, a pleasure to have you in my home. I look up and see Damien standing at the top of a majestic staircase with a walking candle holder. What's with the door slamming shut? Oh, sorry, there's a draft. And the door's creaking open when I knocked? Oh. I accidentally left the door unlocked. And the creepy oil paintings? I like oil paintings. Right. Please, let me show you around. Okay. Damien leads me around his house, showcasing his parlor, sitting room, auxiliary sitting room, and the parlor again for some reason.
How delightful.
This is one of the older homes on the block, yes, but nowhere near as old as the architecture might suggest. Through extensive renovations, I have been able to craft a residence that is both historically accurate to the Victorian period and equipped it with the amenities of any modern dwelling. We walk past the door covered in bumper stickers, caution tape, and a black parade poster. Did they listen to My Chemical Romance in the Victorian era? That's my son's room. You know how the rebellious teens years are. Onward, onward, there's more to see. We reach a door at the end of the hall that Damien opens with a flourish. And this is the library. Sunlight streams in from the floor-to-ceiling arched windows. The walls are lined with packed bookshelves, and even more books are scattered over the period-appropriate furniture. Damien is clearly really proud of this room. Let's look at the butterflies. Ooh. I walk up to the glass display of pinned bugs on the wall. It's pretty impressive. Nice bugs. I pinned them all myself. Maybe I could show you how sometime. I'm concerned I would stick the pin right through my finger. The pinner's gambit. Is that a thing? No. Pick up a book. You know, Mike, in the Victorian era, there was some controversy surrounding reading. Many people thought the more tawdry novels would encourage youths into a life of crime and would cause too much of a distraction from work and school. I pull out a book at random and examine the worn cover. Opening it, I turn to a random page and read aloud. Naruto struggles against the chains that Sasuke had bound him with. Shirtless and out of breath, he looks up at Sasuke. Sasuke smirks, unbuttons his ninja pants. Okay, I think that's enough. Naruto fanfiction? Is that what I have there? Seen there? Damien snaps the book shut and puts it back onto the shelf. That's a rare book from my private collection. So he does like anime. Look out the window. I walk to the window and am greeted by a beautiful view of Damien's backyard. It showcases a beautiful view of the rest of the cul-de-sac. Hey, I can see Craig's on his lawn. He's doing push-ups. With his daughters on his back. Damn. He sees me and waves happily, doing push-ups with one hand now. Damn. Did you know that Victorians spent at least 20 hours a week gazing longingly out of full-length windows? Wait, really? No, but Victorians did appreciate telling a good joke. Please, will you join me for tea? I follow Damien to his sitting room where finger foods have already been set out upon a beautiful tiered silver tray. I take a seat on one of the high-backed chairs as Damien pours and serves me some tea. I can't believe we're having a high tea. I've never thought I'd get to do this. Damien smiles to himself. What? It's a common misconception that high tea refers to the wealth or class of the people enjoying it, when in fact the high refers to both the latter time of day that the working class had to enjoy tea and the height of the tables on which they were served. Oh. My dear friend, we We're currently enjoying afternoon tea. That's informative. Damien takes a seat next to me and serves me a tiny sandwich. Sandwich. Your home is really impressive. Are there a lot of goths in Maple Bay? Or I like your cape. I'm gonna go with the cape. It's a cloak, actually, but thank you. Victorian fashion is very important to me. You pull it off quite well. Thank you. Regardless of my historical leanings, it's very important to me to present myself well. It has taken a long time to come up with a style. It has taken a long time to come up with a style that both true to form and representative of myself, but I'm very proud with how I dress. I do get some strange looks, yes, but it is something that brings me a great deal of joy, so I don't mind. To be able to wake up in the morning, pick from my closet a variety of cloaks, waistcoats, top hats, and even binders that are period appropriate feels amazing. You wear top hats? I'm just going to make a tiny note that he wears a binder. Anyway, you don't? What got you interested in goth stuff? I wish I wore a top hat all the time. I have a top hat, I just don't wear it all the time.
Oh.
Well, when I was a young boy, my father... Did he take you into the city? Sorry. Did you guys see a marching band? I'm afraid I don't understand. You're serious? Of course. But it's, you know, the song. Amanda made me listen to it. Seriously? I'd love to see a marching band. My father, when I was a young boy, my father took me to the city to watch a marching band. Yeah, I can't sing the whole thing, and I'm not doing that well singing it anyway. Nevertheless, I've always had a love for art, history, and fashion. What started off as a small hobby of collecting taxidermized animals grew into a sort of an obsession. It's a privilege to be able to appreciate the lives and cultures of those who've come before us, I think. Why not go all the way? I like not dying when I catch a cold. He takes a sip of tea. I can acknowledge that there are many very terrible things about the Victorian era, and to try and live a life with strict aligns with those ideals would be admittedly horrid. But I think it takes a critical mind to truly appreciate something to the fullest, to be cognizant of its flaws and love it all the same. Tell me, Mike, do you have any hobbies? Oh man, I do. But I don't know if I care about any of them the way you care about this stuff. Well, I'd love to hear about your interests. Hearing someone talk about the things they're passionate about is intriguing, and quite honestly, rather attractive. Oh, you... Please, do tell me about your hobbies. Quick, sound sophisticated. I like watching soap-making videos on the internet. Love me some word jumbles, or I learned how to juggle once. You know what? Soap making videos. Let's do that. Soap is an important advancement in modern society. Getting rid of germs and stuff. I would say that people who make soap are the true heroes here. To watch them work is an honor. I tried making some with Amanda once, and we both had to go to the doctor for the rashes, which I guess goes to show that we should leave it to the professionals. We finish our tea and finger sandwiches. Maybe I should have gone with one of the others, but oh well. Come, I have one more thing to show you. Damien takes me around the back of his home, where a variety of flowers flourish in beautifully landscaped rows. A small stone path weaves through it, and butterflies flit lazily through the air. My garden. It's beautiful. Thank you. Victorians took flowers and floral arrangements very seriously. You see, it was considered uncouth to discuss personal and romantic relationships in public, so lovers and friends alike would use bouquets to send secret messages to each other. Each flower and plant is symbolic of different feelings. Even more interesting is that one flower could mean different things depending on the other plants it is paired with. One has to be extremely careful, as even the style in which the ribbon was tied around the bouquet affects the message. Damien leans down and plucks a gorgeous, bright orange flower off of a vine. Lilium bulbfuris, the orange lily. What do you think this one means? A lion? My lions are ablaze. Thou art the tightest. 3 cheers for sweet revenge. The orange lily is actually symbolic of pure hatred. Well, and that's precisely why floral arrangement is so challenging. What's your favorite type of flower? Snapdragons, honeysuckle, or sunflowers? I kind of like the idea of snapdragons, because they're cute. And you can do that thing where you squeeze them so it looks like they're talking. What a lovely choice. I'll have to remember that when I put together a bouquet for you. He would put together a bouquet for me? Nobody's ever given me a bouquet before. I follow Damien down the footpath and admire more of his beautiful flowers. Suddenly, a phone rings. Oh, Mike. Oh, you can actually hear it. That's cool. Sorry. Oh, Mike, will you excuse me? I must take this. He pulls a cell phone out of his pocket. I'm a little surprised it's not a rotary phone. You really can't have a rotary cell phone, I don't think. Go for it. Damien smiles and there's a typo, walks back to the house. I take a deep breath and enjoy the heavily perfumed air. What a lovely yard. This makes me wish I had put a little bit more effort into that garden Amanda and I tried to start one time. Our watermelons grew to the size of cherry tomatoes and then immediately died. Oh hey, a gargoyle. Oh no, I knocked over the gargoyle. And now it's time to put it together. Fix that guard. Let's see. Nope. Aha, there we go. There we go. And now the head. The shrine of the silver monkey. That's what this game kind of reminds me of, is that, from Legends of the Hidden Temple. Whew, that was a close one. Oh, here comes Damien. He looks upset. Mike, my sincerest apologies to have kept you waiting. There's an urgent matter that I must attend to, so I'm afraid I must take my leave. No problem, dude. Everything all right? Damien worries the hem of his coat with his fingers and looks away. Everything is perfectly fine, but it's Lucian. What's wrong? He appears to have, well, his teacher needs me to come to the school, post haste. Do you need help? Oh no, you don't have to. Let me come with you, as us dads gotta stick together. You're right. This is one of Lucian's more elaborate stunts. I would greatly treasure having another parent by my side. Let's go! What happened to Lucian's mother, though? Or other father, if that's the situation. I don't know. Damien and I walk to the school and are immediately greeted by an anxious-looking Hugo. Hey, Damien, you're here in record time. I wouldn't miss it for the world, dear friend. Wow, whatever it is, it doesn't seem like this is Hugo and Damien's first time with the "my kids are in trouble" rodeo. What is it this time?
Oh.
This, Damien, you have to see to believe. Damien and I fall into step behind Hugo, who leads us through the busy corridors of the school. We pass by several classes in session, and I vaguely wonder if Amanda's around. Hugo eventually ushers us into a small boiler room with a flight of rickety stairs leading down into darkness. Watch your step. I can hear faint voices drifting from the basement as they don't sound happy. As I'm led into the depths of the school, I recall the antics I got into as an angsty middle schooler. At least I had enough sense to stay out of creepy basements. Oh no, I remember this one. Oh. We find another teacher in the boiler room tucked away in the back of the basement. With him are Lucian and Ernest, Hugo's son. Lucian has a bloody nose. Thanks for coming. I can't make heads or tails of this. I look around the scene of the crime and see a bunch of bricks and some masonry tools scattered around. What happened here? Ernest punched me. Lucian tried to kill me.
What?
The room falls silent. I was not trying to kill you, dumbass. I was just trying to build a brick wall around you and see what would happen. You promised me there was a wine down here. You tricked me. Whoa. Wait a second, Lucian. Did you just try to cast of Amontillado Ernest? I'm neither confirming nor denying that. I turn to Damien and whisper to him. What's Cast of Amontillado? It's a classic Edgar Allan Poe short story where a man gets his enemy drunk, lures him down to his cellar with the promise of wine of a fine vintage, then buries him alive behind a brick wall. It's a lovely story. So wait, Lucian, you just tried to do that to him? I was curious to see how it would turn out. I wasn't actually going to leave him there. What was the thought process here? That Ernest was just going to sit still while you slowly built a tomb around him? Well, it worked for like 20 minutes because he's an idiot, but then he realized that I had lied about the wine. And you're cackling maniacally. That sort of tipped me off. Ernest, 20 minutes? Dad,
Whoa.
it took you 20 minutes? Son, we just did an entire 2-week unit on the Cast of Amontillado, and it took you 20 minutes to realize Lucian was leading you into an elaborate ruse? Did you even read the story? I read the first 5 pages and then read a review of the movie.
What?
Oh gosh. It's only 5 pages long! There is no movie! Haha, yeah, you're right. I paid Lucian to read it for me. Actually, he didn't even pay me. So when you think about it, this was me teaching him a lesson. Damien and Hugo both have their heads in their hands. You guys are always telling me to engage in the literature, and I did. I don't see a problem here. Alright, I'm filing this under what the hell. Don't do whatever that was again. You two are both suspended for a week. Ernest and Lucian high five. The teacher starts to stomp up the stairs. Hugo, I'll cover your class. Take your son home. Mr. Bloodmarch, you too. Thank you for your mediation. We all head up to the stairs and out of the school in tense silence. Lucian, Damien, and I pile into my car and begin to drive home. Lucian immediately pulls his hood up and stares out the window angrily. I'm not going to therapy again. I know, son. It's entirely up to you whether or not you want to go. But I care about you, and I want to see that I see that you're struggling. So if you do decide that you would like to speak to a professional about your feelings, we can do that too. Maybe you can spend this week looking for a summer job, I know how much you want your own car. I can't believe Damien's keeping his cool. I'm impressed. Fine. Thanks for not freaking out too hard. I love you, son. Lucian continues staring out the window. Love you too. We spend the rest of the drive in relative silence. The moment we pull into the driveway, Lucian hops out of the car, slams the door, and runs inside. I didn't expect to have that conversation in front of you. He and I have a lot we need to work out. It's all right. And all things considered, Lucian's bricklaying was pretty good. So there's your silver lining. There is that, yes. He probably is just going through a phase. I really admire how you handled that. Does this kind of thing happen a lot? I'll say that. You were a lot more diplomatic with him than I would have been. I just want what's best for him, and I don't think yelling at him would do either of us any favors. It really does. You're a good dad. Ha ha! See you around soon. It would be my honor and my pleasure. Damien bows with a flourish. Classy. I come home to find Amanda curled up on the couch with a blanket watching TV. I plop down next to her. Yo! What you watching? Tiny House Hunting Brothers Extreme Edition. I hate this show. The couple on screen bicker back and forth while standing in an extremely small house made of recycled bottles. The Tiny House Hunting Brothers watch them and with bemused expressions, both of their heads touching the low ceiling. I told you I wanted a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, shabby chic cottage. This house doesn't even have a bathroom. But honey, the outhouse is only 20 yards away. It's not that bad. I am not pooping outside, Greg. Why don't they just get a regular-sized house? I don't know. How'd afternoon tea go? It got strange. We had to go to the school and pick up Lucian since he tried to... He lured Ernest down to the cellar with a promise of fine vintage, and then tried to brick him into the wall, right? How did you know that? Has everyone read this story except for me? Lucian live streamed the entire thing. This entire day is beyond me. But otherwise, it was a fun day. That Damien guy's a character, but he's really a good companion. Or really good company. Blah, blah. And a surprisingly diplomatic dad. I dig his style. You know what? Me too. Date complete. There wasn't a lot of darkness, unless...
That was the jammiest bits of jam. I'm not quite sure what that one means. I read it in an article once about the Victorian era.
Yeah. Okay.
Welcome. You've got dads.
And with that, I'm going to leave this episode here. Next time we get to go visit Craig again for side 1, and maybe we'll actually do his date route too. But for now, I want to thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, please put a like on the video. If you want to see more of my content, first off, subscribe. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you don't miss out when I upload. And as always, I'll see you next time.